Hi everyone, it's Irena and today we're baking bread. Now I'm actually just going to show you how to do it in the Magimix Cook Expert, and it's really easy and you can have so much fun with it. I'm using a recipe from the Brioche and Pastry Book. So, and it has lots of recipes in varieties of types of breads, etc. there. But I'm using a really basic one, and this is just one that I use a lot, and I throw in seeds and things if I wish to. Okay, so it's a basic one that I use. So I put all the dry ingredients in there first. So, and the ingredients is flour, yeast, salt. Now, a tip is do not put your salt next to your yeast. There are two things that will kill your bread, and that is hot water and salt. So be very careful to only use lukewarm water when you're actually adding the water, and make sure that your salt is very separated from the actual yeast because it will kill it. Yeast is a live thing. So they're your tips, the two things there. So you put your dry ingredients in there, and then you start it running the Cook Expert, and you add the water to it. And so you add it to it and it will start to knead. Now, then after you've kneaded it through, and just telling you, I'll just take you through it. So you go through to baking, okay? And then it's the second one along the bread, okay, the bread and brioche. That's the setting. So you turn it on, it stops after a minute just to scrape it down, and then you turn it on auto again and it runs it through. So then you want to rise for the dough to rise. To make it rise, you leave it in the bowl. Okay, make sure the lid's on, leave it in the bowl, and then you put it on, take it down to Expert, okay, and then you go for 1 hour on 0 and 35 degrees. So you set it for 1 hour on no rotations, on 35 degrees, and you leave it alone, and in 1 hour, this is what you'll get. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's absolutely beautiful. So then I'm going to turn it out onto my table here. Here it goes. It's fantastic. Look at the consistency. It's just beautiful. Now I've used the dough hook, and if you use a dough hook, you don't have to. You can use the hook that you have, but if you actually have a dough hook, which kind of looks like that, you can see the dough hook there. It looks different. The extra L, you can double the consistency. So that makes it possible to have twice as much ingredients, so you can have more. So that's really useful. And of course, you can use it for other things too. So that's that. So here we have it. It's a look at the consistency. It's beautiful. Look at that. So I like to give it just one more knead. Now it's come off like that. Look at that. Just beautiful. And the way I like to actually bake it, I bake it, well, you can bake it like that, basically. You can, but I like to make a braid. That's my thing. So I cut it into 3. So roughly cutting it into 3, like that. Then I make little sausages. Like that. Little sausages. And then I braid them. Okay, so now in the book it'll give you lots of options on scoring and conversion from the dry yeast to the wet yeast, to all kinds of information in here. So that's really good to know. So then I just do this and then I braid it. So off we go. Braid, 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 braid. Doesn't have to be fantastic. I tuck in the sides like that. See a beautiful braid? And I just pop it in like that. Okay. I cover it with a damp cloth for about half an hour, and it actually rises right up like this. and then I pop it in the oven. So in the oven, another tip is to put a tray of water at the bottom. When you put a tray of water in the bottom, there's steam inside, and so it makes the outside nice and crusty and the inside nice and soft. So that's what happens with that. So there's, and then you pop that in. So I'll pop that aside for now. A half an hour later in the oven, it's a 220 degrees oven, and half an hour later you have a beautiful loaf of bread, and it's really nice and crusty, you can hear it, and it's absolutely divinely delicious. So have a go. I mean, really, once you get going making bread, you won't stop, because it's so much fun, lots of different varieties, and you can do sweet loaves, you can do all kinds of things, focaccias, you know, so many options, and it's lovely, and the whole house smells divine. All right, give it a go. Enjoy using your Magimix Cook Expert and enjoy making bread. Okay, see ya.